things. NEA, we have to win all the things. All the things. All the things. Our colleagues are depending on us to win all the things. Keep going, NEA. To preserve our democracy, we must win all the things. Delegates, we won't go back. We will keep going forward because we are the NEA. We are the NEA. We are the NEA.
What America don't realize, and maybe they do, but they're just afraid to stop it. America has made a horrible mistake allowing black women, black females to get into government. You have made a horrible mistake. And America is already regretting it, but you're going to regret it even more so. Because the one thing that you don't realize, or maybe you do, but just afraid to stop it or say it or anything, is that black people do not. You have made a horrible mistake. And America is already regretting it, but you're going to regret it even more so.
Hello there, I'm Chris Dangerfield. That is Jake Julius from Rattlesnake TV. I'll leave a link to the full video in description. And today we're looking at Trump's plans to get shot of the Department of Education. Oh, they don't like it up 'em. Roll VT.
Skyrocketing illiteracy doesn't seem like the best deal to me.
Is the DOGE program targeted at these bureaucrats?
Yes.
And so what can you expect?
Well, let's look at the Department of Education. The Federal Department of Education has a budget of about $280 billion a year. Wow. Less than 25% goes to educating our students.
Less than a quarter. All that money, I'll tell you where that's going. This is what corrupt governments do in plain sight. It is almost their sole purpose and function to put public money into private pockets, and they find all sorts of peculiar and strange and blatant ways of doing it. The Department of Education being one such way. Shocking.
So where does the other $220 billion go? It goes
into Pelosi's stock account.
To a bureaucracy. It goes to a consultant, and that consultant then donates money back to the Democrats. And
is there ever been a bigger blag than consultancy? I've worked as a consultant on projects. It was essentially friends of mine who got real jobs wanted to find a way of giving me some money because I didn't have any. So they hired me as a consultant. Yeah.
Then it goes to a different consultant, and then it goes to an NGO. I mean, it is money laundering and money churning at its absolute best. And you can look at almost every single agency and you will find it. So the brilliance of DOGE isn't that he's going in and cutting spending. He doesn't have the authority to do that. We're the ones that have the authority to do that. What I want him to do is come up with a report, go through agency by agency by agency, identify every single program that we should not be funding, put a number attached to it. We slap a preamble on the front of that report, and we say that every single agency is having their budget cut.
Burn the lot.
By X amount, as shown in the attached
X amount. DOGE
report, and none of those programs.
It is incredible. Imagine the tooth grinding insomnia of the left at the moment with DOGE and Musk and Trump. We had it hard for a while, but I can see this being a 15-20 year Republican, dare I say, MAGA US administration.
Programs can go forward from here on.
Furthermore, one thing we know for certain is that if Elizabeth Warren comes out against it, then you know you're really hovering above the target.
This is a code red, shout it from the rooftop.
Right, before Warren goes into this, I just want to say, I haven't seen this. We're watching this together for the first time. But what I do know is she will not tell you why it's bad. She will not tell you why Elon Musk shouldn't be employed to essentially audit government institutions and departments, she'll just say it's bad, it's not right, but they never tell you why. You know why they can't, because it isn't.
Hobbs moment. Trump is letting Elon Musk steal our children's future.
Another way of saying that is Trump has employed someone who's put a team together who's auditing the Department of Education.
He's trying to shut down an agency that funds after-school programs, an agency that helps millions of kids.
And put that power into the states who can better manage what the schools in that state require, rather than having it come from the government, which just is part of big government and just gets lost in bureaucracy, and 3/4 of the budget just disappears en route into slush funds.
Get the financial aid.
And if anyone looked like she spends half her day treading water in a slush fund, it's Pocahontas.
They need when they go to college. An agency that enforces our civil rights laws that protect our students. So if you're a student or if you're a public school...
That's it, just like Chairman Mao, mobilise the students. I don't know why you don't give them a little book with some ideas and plans in it, you know, set them off to destroy the four olds.
Teacher, Trump...
Oh, they've already done that.
...is sending a message loud and clear. He doesn't care about you, and he doesn't care about your family.
But you didn't give me any evidence to support that claim. You thought that before he made this decision. That's your a priori position. And now you want the American public to have that a priori position. Maybe you missed the election. Maybe you're too busy smoking peace pipes or something. I don't know what your people do.
This is just another part of Elon Musk and Donald Trump's playbook to dismantle public education in America. We have to stop them.
So guys, I have to be fair here, and besides Elizabeth Warren, there actually have been some very strong counterpoints to this argument.
Depending on us to win all the things. NEA, we have to win all the things. All the things. All the things. Our colleagues are depending on us to win all the things. Keep going, NEA. To preserve our democracy, we must win all the things. Delegates, we won't go back. We will keep going forward because we are the NEA. We are the NEA. We are the NEA.
So
when I think of the Greek city-state and the polis, a place where people discussed politics which was separate from the domestic realm, and the development of Western civilizations on the back of those ideas, there's that happened as part of that canon of being.
So pretty compelling stuff there. I mean, all the things, win all the things. But what are the details of why Trump wants...
It's quite interesting though, actually win all the things and howling it like a rabid banshee. You know, that's simply power. I want everything, give it to me. Let's take it. No, you have to work for it, you have to prove yourself. We want to see results. We saw results from the Biden administration, they were awful.
Wants to get rid of this, and what exactly is his plan?
They're not doing a good job, and if you take a look at our education process, and if you look at the charts, because they have numerous charts where they do the top 40, we're at number 37, 38, 39, and 40.
It's absolutely shocking that the richest nation in the world ranks so badly in education. I mean, some of the numbers out there, so I'm sure you've all seen them, you know, the levels of illiteracy in American teenagers, it's embarrassing, it's shocking, but more importantly, it does not bode well for the future. The future of that nation relies on the education of young people. You know, if you had a load of money, would you be back in the US at the moment? in terms of their education, providing a civilization of clever people. Good Lord.
And recently they hit, during Biden's last few days, they hit last. So they were number 40, and yet we're number 1 in cost per pupil. So
wow, spend the most, achieve the least. Wow, wow, wow.
Pretty bad.
For a number of
But
the
we
states
have a dream, and you know what the dream is? We're going to move the Department of Education. We're going to move education into the states, so that the states, instead of bureaucrats working in Washington, so that the states can run education.
So diving into this more, there's a few layers to it. He wants to decentralize control and return power to local communities so that education can be managed locally rather than federally, which is actually how the US is meant to be run, with powers like education being vested in the state and not federally. And the Department of Education is obviously a federal institution and has a one-size-fits-all approach. And this doesn't account for regional differences, so the idea is that giving the different stakeholders more power and more say will provide for better educational outcomes. But these Karens don't seem too happy about it. Check this out.
Equally pernicious, they're saying, oh, don't worry, let's block grant it. So we'll give it to a state education department. Right. So, and then let the state education department decide what to do. So we know, for example, what Texas would do.
Right.
They'll use it for vouchers.
Again, void of actual argument as to why. I mean, there'll be a couple of anecdotes maybe, but there's no actual discourse around the structural problems of education being managed at a state level. None. These people are just going to lose money. Of course they're going to fight this all the way. They're rats trapped in a corner.
So they won't give it to the kids who have it now. They'll just give it for vouchers.
Catholic schools, religious schools.
Oh, we don't want Catholic schools getting money. We don't want to be funding religious schools, no. And again, that's why that's why Democrats, that's why the left, that's why the big government people, they want it controlled, because then literally they can control it. They can control where that money goes. They can control who's singing from their hymn sheet. Weird phrase, admittedly, in this context, but yeah, they're going to give it to Catholic schools, religious schools. Oh, that would be shocking, wouldn't it? I mean, who'd want to help fund the cornerstone of Western civilization?
God forbid any funding goes to the Christian schools in Texas, guys. I mean, if they can't control it from the top down, then how will they be able to jam LGBTQ propaganda into the curriculum? So moreover, guys, there's also a lot of waste that needs to be cut. And we saw the chart before, and Trump sees this organization as a bloated and inefficient bureaucracy that is just squandering taxpayer dollars. So the argument is that federal spending on education should be more allocated to the classrooms and to education initiatives rather than consumed by big administrative bureaucracies. Or in other words,
and controlled by leftist ideologues at the top who can barely stand up unless they're falling up flights of stairs.
Words, middle-aged cat ladies like this.
It's time to speak up. I'm standing outside of the Department of Education building in Washington, D.C. There are reporters lined up across the street because the Trump administration has issued an order that all employees are to vacate this building by 6 o'clock tonight, and that it will be closed tomorrow. And we know that.
Yeah, but so what? So what? He's the president who was elected in a free and democratic election. He's made a decision. The people seem to support it. That's just change. Why don't you, seeing as you're making a video that I'm guessing you're videoing that's on your free social media platform, why don't you put an argument forward as opposed to Orange man bad, we shouldn't do it. It's less than nothing. As Christopher Hitchens famously said, you're not even wrong.
Massive cuts and layoffs are coming to the Department of Education.
Good.
Now, if you haven't read Project 2025, you might not know that eliminating the Department of Education was one of their top goals.
Right, and tell me what's bad about that?
They want to eliminate the Department of Education, and they want to cut any and all funding that they can to the states for their education.
Where exactly did you get that from? Oh, Project 25.
And why is that? Because an uneducated populace is...
Oh no, this isn't why. This is the outcome. You've skipped a bit in your argument there. Your logical chain collapsed ridiculously, and now you're going to tell us some peculiar 1984 irony about controlling the population from a leftist point of view.
Easier to control. The Trump administration and the Christian nationalists don't want an educated populace. All they want are people who will be slave labor to the billionaires who are going to run the show. They don't...
What, like George Soros, Bill Gates, et al.
Don't want us to know how to read and write and to have critical thinking, because an uneducated populace is easier to control.
The irony is dripping off you, woman. That'll do for this one, people. Let me know your thoughts about demolishing the Department of Education and putting the management of education at state level. And if you want to watch the rest of Jake's video, the link is in the description at the bottom. After all mine, please like and subscribe and save me from this life of sin. Ciao.